Tweet, dang it. Tweet. Okay, so we are back with Against the Impossible Storm. I'm the Dread Canary playing Against the Storm, the roguelite city builder game by Aramite Games that's currently in early access. And last time we completed a cycle after smoothly moving through the Coral Forest biome. Now we're greeted with a fresh map. We have another person we're competing against. We've still got Vanguard of the Stolen Keys, the AI that makes settlements much faster than I can keep up with. But we've got the First Dawn Company that usually doesn't get anywhere close to being in the running. And now we've added the Brass Order. And of course, the Brass Order and the Vanguard of Stolen Keys are going here in 4 years if they're allowed to. And the great thing about claiming territory is that you stop people from being able to colonize in the circle of hexes around your zone so long as you actually win the map. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the Smoldering City. When we finished that cycle, we got some additional upgrade resources just because the Queen liked the job that we did. So we're going to buy some upgrades. I'll say some, like we can afford more than one. Last time we got Harpy Houses, and now you can choose between bonus production, going up a little bit, and farming speed, more time, because the Queen's impatience will grow slower, and being able to see more of the map every time we reset a cycle. Now that second one, we just finished the cycle. It's not useful until the cycle resets again, so I'm going to hold up on this, because we can take this anywhere. We don't have to take it right away. Faster move speed is nice, and being able to go further out from the Citadel is also nice. And increased production and the ability to start a map with planks, bricks, or fabric. I'm going to go with the Pioneer's Gate level 5. Let's get some of that embark range. So, before I could only go here, and still I can only go here because I don't have the increased vision to see what's out here. But either way, I'm going to go here. It's going to put us on this Royal Outpost. Now, cool. So the Royal Outpost just gives us food resources, so nothing else. But it does give us a nice modifier of getting an additional choice when choosing our orders, making it easier to customize what we're doing. It's a woodlands map. Okay, 9 beavers plus 2 is more than 8 people plus 2, so let's go ahead and go hard with the beavers. Now, as always, I love stone, but I feel like since beavers like wine, let's click the herbalist camp. There's a good chance we'll be able to find some berries, maybe press that into wine, get some bonus happiness that way. And you know what? Let's go all the way and call this something like Vinehaven. Sounds nice. Let's embark. Okay, so if we can get complex food, which means this is pretty far up the chain before we get the bonus, we're going to have to get some nice food infrastructure going for this to matter. But if it does, then complex food, double complex food. Yeah, this is really far up, but it does mean that getting a lot of resolve from good food is really easy. This is our usual debuff. Villagers move slowly off roads, and again, just like the last time, they will die if they don't have housing, which means I've got to do those basic shelters at the beginning and then upgrade it to real racial housing as soon as possible so we can get the nice, better resolve bonus. Okay, so having happy villagers during the storm doesn't really get us reputation. Now, I actually don't like the Aura of Despair for the game in general. I think they should remove this one because the storm gives you such a huge penalty to resolve that I'm almost never gaining any reputation anyway, which basically just makes this a free slot. That said, it does make it easy, and sometimes you get combinations that are hellish to deal with. So having a potentially free slot sometimes saves my game, so I'm not too mad about it. And if the hostility ever gets to 7, then we are going to lose villagers every storm, no matter what we do, and the number of villagers escalates with the number of years that we've played. So, well, we want to get out of here quick. Harvesting speed is faster, and of course, we already know about the increased order pool. Let's go ahead and make some woodcutters camps. Now we are surrounded by a whole lot of regular glades, and as you've been seeing, I've been skipping the regular glades. So maybe this time we don't. Maybe I just show you what happens if I include regular glades in the lineup. I'm going to go ahead and do that, but we're also going to square off, because pine trees, unlike the trees in the coral biome, are very easy for me to make beautiful square lines. I don't know about y'all, but I really, really like order. Boop, 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 boop. And, you know, I think we're going to go just a little bit further. There we go. So we've marked trees. We've got our woodcutters camps going. We've made our initial road. Now, again, we didn't take stone. We took the herbalist camp. So I've got to do regular road. And let's go. We are off. Oh, and don't burn any coal or oil. Now, the fun thing is that with this many beavers, I could actually just go for 3 lumber camps. Only reason I'm not going to is, again, we need to get that wood up fast. We know we're going to have humans, so the religious settlement might help with their happiness. Getting free jerky whenever we make pie. Jerky is a kind of complex food. That really would help with the drizzle bonus we might get. And leftover crops, free packs of provisions makes it easier to use trade routes. Now, the only trade routes I can do right now is with the Smoldering City, because we're at the start of a cycle. But you know what? I'm going to go with the jerky with pie. And we're just going to build some initial houses. Let's take a look at our orders. 2 dangerous glades for a tool shop. Again, this is amazing. Now, this time I'm not going to have the free crystallized dew that you can get in the coral biome. So we'd be dependent upon basically trading for it, because you never find ore, copper ore, in the royal woodlands. Stonecutter's camp seems useful. I'm going to build one anyway. 2 bricks is nice, and then that gives us parts. Selling 15 goods pretty much always happens, but let's go with this. We can get the parts, we can get a little clay, a little reed. Okay, +1 cloth production is a really good force multiplier, +4 parts, so I love the 3 packs normally. But in this case, since I've decided I'm going to go ahead and open some regular glades, not just dangerous ones, I'm just going to go with glades. We can knock that out early. Oh, and then we get another chance at Lost in the Woods, or Herbalist. And since we already have the Herbalist camp, we just need to collect these types of food to get this benefit. Or I can make beavers happy. I'm going to go ahead and go with Herbalist. And what that means is I'm going to go in here, and I'm going to tell them that they cannot eat mushrooms or berries, because the order doesn't say, like, obtain it in the herbalist camp. It just says we have to have it, which means we have to turn it in. The good news is that we might be able to buy it from traders, which is always nice. We know we got an herbalist camp. We know we're going to want wine. Being able to make crystallized dew is going to be our ability to make tools if we get something that lets us make tools. Let's go ahead and go with the alchemist hut. And of course, the cellar, which can make wine even better, comes up immediately. Pickled goods are a good form of complex food for beavers. But I mean, I just got a thing that makes wine, so I'm not going to do this one. Being able to grow crystallized dew is really good for tools, and that's a good way to do it on the Royal Woodlands. But I just got something that lets me make crystallized dew out of spark dew, so I don't need that either. The ranch is a good way of turning plant fiber or wheat into meat. Really nice. And the plantation lets us grow berries and plant fiber. I'm actually going to go with the ranch here. And then finally, I think we're going to go with the carpenter. Getting anything that lets you produce basic building materials, always good. Assuming you don't already have a good source for them. I mean, you don't necessarily need 2 or 3 sources unless it's like a 1-star jumping up to a 3-star, and the other 2 things that the building gives you are going to be novel. They're going to be new resources that you don't already have access to. Nice. Okay. Now this is why I don't generally go for the basic glades, is because they still give you hostility from the forest, but they don't give you much in terms of resources. Like, it's just some eggs, and this is plant matter. Compared to what you'll see when we get to this dangerous glade, it's usually a lot more in terms of resources. I'm going to have us finish our square before we open up any more glades. We have all our housing, so the death downside won't happen. Beavers and humans are generally easy to keep happy, so we should be fine for most of the storm. And we have enough food to get us started. Might as well turn on the ability to turn in this quest. Alright, so our third species is going to be harpies. Every 2 solved dangerous events lowers hostility by 50. So bonus wood production, but planting and harvesting is slower. not a good idea on the Royal Woodlands. There's so much fertile ground, and humans are great at planting. I don't like greedy grounds, so I'm not taking it. The +1 resolve for every 2 impatience points is nice, but it does mean letting the queen get impatient with you to get the bonus. I'm going to take Calming the Forest because every 2 solves hostility by 50, right? Every hostility level is 100, and if I get to 7, the Grim Fate starts killing off my villagers. So this way I can go into dangerous glades, solve them, and not lose people. Ooh, okay, so serve 50 biscuits, make 6 human houses. Gives us human resolve, plus 5 humans, and 50 mushrooms. Have 10 beavers, keep them happy. Get a lumber mill, which doesn't really improve much because we got a carpenter, which is already at 2-star planks. I mean, it's better, but it's not that much better. 40 pickled goods is nice, and the 5 parts is really nice too. Or 8 happy humans. Gives us 40 pie, 15 amber, and the brick oven, which lets us make pie. And I believe free jerky. Well, let's go for that. Okay, and if we can turn in 65 roots, we can get 5 beavers and 15 ale. Not that great. If we can turn in 40 oil and 40 flour, we can get 10 humans. That's, or not humans, but we can get 10 newcomers, and that's a lot of people. I actually don't want that many people. Otherwise, Happy Beavers gives us faster wood cutting, 30 biscuits, and 10 tools. Well, it looks like we have a winner, folks. Let's go ahead and take that brickyard. And, one thing I forgot is that with the housing update, you can now move houses. Houses don't feel like the sort of thing you should be able to move, but they did it so you could keep houses, like, near people's work. So, like, I understand the reasoning, I just don't really like it thematically. There we go. Okay, so now we have 2 beavers making planks, 6 beavers chopping down trees, and 1 loose beaver who's the only one available for any construction work. That's fine. Looks good to me. Meanwhile, we're collecting food, so our food is actually going up a little bit. A decent amount of wood, and we're in. Alright, now since I've got a decent amount of wood, let's go ahead and Take 2 beavers off this. And we're going to convert this to a termite nest. The +1 mushrooms is nice, especially since I got an herbalist camp, and the 2 ancient tablets is good. And of course, gaining insects for every 2 mushrooms is also good, but this is 5 insects per minute for the rest of the game. It ends up being quite a lot of food. And you know, if I take this guy off, and I take this guy off, that's going to do a lot for our resolve issues. And then if we favor harpies, we can keep them positive. Then we unfavor the harpies and burn 1 wood. A harpy scavenger left. Come on, guys. Not great. I hate doing this, but I can't really afford to lose people. I mean, I can, but I don't want to lose people, so I'm not gonna. And my last harpy left. Great. Oh well. We'll get more right here. Let's go ahead and go to Vineyard Town. Open 5 glades for +3 global resolve. Yes, please. You guys done? You are done. Okay. So now we can work on fixing everything that we just did. We're low on fuel, so I can't afford to be making any more planks right at the moment. But that's fine. We're not going to put any limit on fabric. And the reason we're not putting any limit on fabric is because we want to build some harpy houses. Now, I didn't have anything to do with selling particularly, so we can go ahead and just go in here And it's rough knowing what to buy, but we do need mushrooms and berries. Trapper's Camp would also be nice. I'm not going to worry about mushrooms and berries just yet. We're going to try to get the Trapper's Camp, which means we need 13 more amber. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. If we sell our resin, and let's sell like 38 eggs. It'll be all of our wheat. And I'm thinking now that we got a brickyard, we can actually stand to part with some clay. Especially since human houses need bricks, but nothing else does, and like some advanced buildings do, but we'll be able to get away with less bricks here than we would in other situations. So let's trade that, and let's grab this Trapper's Camp, because the Trapper's Camp is going to give us access to this meat down here. And what we're going to do is we are going to put one beaver on every form of building material so that I can send my harpies to trap. And let's go ahead and put in orders to square up that. Make it a nice, pretty square. And you know, looks like the tree line needs to be moved back just a little bit. There we go. Now eventually we'll get to the glades and the mushrooms and the berries, but remember, we're not eating the mushrooms or berries, which is why I've been securing other sources of food to make sure my party is happy, because this can get a little misleading. If you're not eating berries, then you might have a number up here and then have people who are still starving because they're not allowed to eat it. Yes, I know, this house is a bit far from your place of work. You know what? Because I can move houses, let's go ahead and just stick it down here. It'll be right by where you work. You'll love that. It's great. Stonecutter's Camp has nothing it can work. And looking around, it doesn't have anything I can move it to either. So we're going to go ahead and just stick it up here in the corner. We're going to pull the humans out of it. Let's take a look. Was there any buildings I have that I didn't build? I didn't build an alchemist hut. Alchemist hut is a 3x2, so we'll put it back to back with this carpenter. Make a nice little road. Now, what those symbols mean is that harpies get 10% chance for double production, and humans get a resolve bonus for working in the alchemist hut. And personally, I like to favor the double production over the happiness. So what I'm going to end up doing is this. Now, of course, we got the problem of low resolve. And there's a couple of things we can do about that. We can take a couple of beavers. And that solves our resolve issues right there. Okay. Then we're going to go with a mix. And the reason we're going with a mix is because I want to be able to fill up this with beavers. We have one leftover beaver who I'm going to put on collecting spark dew. Because what that's going to let me do is it's going to let me make crystallized dew, plus maybe some cosmetics, and maybe some wine. Crystallized dew, in turn, is going to let us make simple tools. Ooh, yes. Every 2 solved dangerous glades will now lower it by 100. That's massive. That's absolutely massive. Okay, now this would only help if we had sellers. 20 building materials. I don't love it, especially when it's not really giving me back anything for those building materials. I mean, 35 clay is not really a thing. So I guess we're going with the ruins, because it's fairly easy to get packs of provisions. Let's change that to a harpy. And let's actually build a second harpy house. We're going to swap you to a human. There we go. And, okay, you can sell us an herb garden. That's really nice. Let's buy that herb garden. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. And I think I'm going to take us down to 30. Huh. Okay, that's not low enough. I guess we sell this. We'll sell that. What if I sold these? Still not enough, really. Okay. This might be dumb, but we're doing it anyway. Just so I guaranteed to have the option when we get there. And of course, I haven't built my ranch either, now that I thought about it. Which, let's actually delete this. And do that. Nice. Did I never make my herb garden? Or my herbalist camp? I don't think I did. Well, we better get that up. This exclamation point keeps making me think the trapper's camp's not doing anything, but really it's the cache that's hidden in the trees here. Now, all kinds resolve is low. That's fine. We'll just take some beavers off. That'll help. It doesn't cover it, but it helps. And I think if we do just a little bit of burning, I can play Resolve Ping Pong with the harpies and the beavers. And boop. Everyone's happy again. Okay. +2 giant vegetables. Yes, we can do that. Stone roads, which require us to get stone, but I love getting stone. Having 20 beavers lets us just make beavers happy, and chance for double yields when under construction, plus, or when under education, plus bonus pie production, 100%. Let's do that. That just gives me an excuse to favor my favorite race anyway. But don't tell them that. Alright, let's go ahead and put some harpies in here. And we're going to make only out of leather from now on. We will get to the south side at some point, but for now, we're just going to move them up here and start working toward that glade, because I do need to get this, and the queen is starting to get a bit impatient with us. Like, she's not super mad, but she's a little miffed. Let's go ahead and actually delete that and that and that. Let's see what we need for housing now. All right. And mushrooms. Now, technically, I should be putting some harpies in there. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. We're not exactly making planks fast enough. We're out of clay, so I don't need any humans working that right now. We've gained 1 out of 2. Very nice. Ooh, he'll sell us a tool shop. And free crystallized dew for berries. The 15% is also nice, but I'm thinking I'm going to try to get this tool shop if I can. I don't think I can. Yeah, there's no way. So we're just going to cancel and not do anything. Now we do want to get that last human house built because we've got this chance of dying. So we're going to force delivery, and that's going to give us enough planks. There we go. So everyone's housed in their favorite housing. That's great. That's going to help with the resolve issues. And if we burn just a little bit of wood, I think we can get through this winter without losing anybody. I say a little bit. It's 36 wood per minute, which ends up being quite a lot when you've only got like 120. But it should be enough to at least keep everyone just happy enough that they don't leave. And it was. Okay. Now again, we want to favor beavers specifically because we've got a quest for it, but we only have 1 beaver either way. So I'm going to take the extra humans because humans are easier to keep happy. Seeing the contents of glades, but it kills a villager. Favoring is disabled. Or hostility to the forest increases every year. Okay, I guess we're going with the ancient. No, we're going to reroll. Trade hub. Reputation point every time we sell goods worth 60 amber, but resolve doesn't do us much good. Alternately, every 2 villagers filled with the need for education, that's both beavers and harpies, increases global production speed. Let's do that. And let's just hope for scrolls. Meanwhile, beaver, 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 beaver. Those beavers are going to push toward this dangerous glade up in the corner. And actually, I'm going to move this up there too as soon as that's empty. We have plenty of food, even accounting for the fact that 22 mushrooms don't count, so that's nice. We're working on our spark dew. We're working on our mushrooms. We're working on our glades. We're working on our glades. I didn't do anything about packs of provisions, but I don't know if I need to yet. We've been building all the houses, so we need a harpy house and a human house. I think we can manage that. Alright, now we are going to go through quite a lot of food actually doing this. But I don't want to deal with farming the blight rot cyst, so we're just going to send 2 harpies to go work this immediately. Meanwhile, we're going to send 2 humans here to go turn that into money. And we'll get a smelter. Meanwhile, we can turn this in. And that gives us another building. Which, I'm thinking small farm. Though, the bathhouse is nice. Especially since we already have cosmetics. And it slows down the rate at which people leave. Yeah, we're going to go with the bathhouse. And berries are up there. Unfortunately, I think the blight rot cyst is consuming some of our mushrooms, but I mean, there's nothing for it. I can't do anything about that. If we go to the farm fields, we can do this. And once this is out of the way, we can build a farm down here. That'll be nice. Woodcutter's camp has no trees nearby. I mean, it's only kind of true. And technically, I think I could have farmed this into lowering the hostility a lot, but I didn't, so that's okay. More mushrooms, so that's definitely going to get us to our 40 mushrooms that we needed. Now, you may have noticed a pattern between the last game and this game that I like to take these city buildings and put one of every species in them. I figure the benefits go all the way across. Why not? So what this does is it increases global production rate. So we're going to produce very fast. That's very nice. And then villagers leave more slowly. So that makes it easier to deal with their unhappiness issues. I don't know if I have enough. I do have enough. Okay. Well, that's really nice. Enough in this case wiggle room for me to keep most of my people happy for the storm. And we do. We have just enough. So let's go ahead and undo that. And that means I can lower this. Meanwhile, we have all the mushrooms we're going to need. And because of that, I'm actually going to move these guys up here and have them start working on the berries immediately so we can get this quest done. And then we'll be able to turn off the restriction on food and get, you know, more food going in this settlement. Okay, we are producing tools. That's very nice. Let's go with a nice balanced mix. Each solved glaive event lowers hostility by 10. So we can just keep lowering it, or we can get 5 more jerky for every 10 pie produced. I love the idea of getting 10 jerky for every 10 pie, but lowering hostility is also nice. We'll go with Sahilda's cookbook. That sounds fine. We have a pile of amber and a pile of cosmetics, but the cosmetics are going to be used somewhat soon. So, shorter storms. Scouts can open chests faster. Okay, that's nice. Coal production +1. There we go. Beaver, beaver, beaver. Beaver, beaver, beaver. Excellent. Wonderful. Now you make crystallized dew at 2 stars. You make it at 1 star, so we never want to make it here. Copper bars may or may not matter. We'll find out. Now this is obviously not where it's going to go because it can't reach into the corner here. But for now, it's a decent place to put it. A better source of fabric is real nice. Not sure where to put the building, but it's real nice. I think that looks good. We've already got all of the harpy housing situated down here anyway. We'll be able to build that immediately. And when we could do packs of luxury goods, we don't really need to. So that's going to get us good buildings for all of the basic building materials. I'm going to go like that. Let's pop a road. Actually, let's shift this guy one to the right so we can pop the road all the way to the tree line. And over here, I don't think we need these trees. We are going to just do this, square that up, and then that's going to clear out the rest of whatever farm fields are under here, plus give us a better spot to move this herb garden, and that's going to give us a good idea of where I can put the storage unit for the results of this herb garden. Because I don't want it walking all the way back over here. That takes forever, and then there's a chance we don't harvest all of our stuff. And you don't want that. If you're going to be, working the fields, you might as well work them at peak efficiency. Come on. There we go. Now, of course, I didn't notice until just now that we need more housing. So we'll put some beaver housing in there. We're going to just move this beaver housing because I guess these are the very definition of mobile homes. We need another human house somewhere. I feel like putting it back here is a bad idea, but I'm doing it anyway. Okay, now if I do this, and we make a nice little whoop, and then we put food in here, just to finish that up, and we can put a storage unit right there. And it's been a while since I've had to do any decorations. Let's go ahead and just fence off this area of grass that's not going to get anything other than fencing. I still think that fencing should be should be able to be put on top of other structures. I understand they probably can't do that with whatever the coding is, but being able to fence all the way around farmland would be very nice. And right now I can't easily do that. I mean, I guess I could waste a space and just increase the amount of the radius, I guess, around a farm that I'm not using for anything else. But I really like having that be roads. And having fence right up against a road would look nice. Not to mention fit with how people actually build their fencing. But this game's got great gameplay. I don't need to harp too much on the aesthetics, especially with how much they've already done in terms of increasing the look. I'm especially proud of what they did with the swampland, the marshlands, because those used to be ugly. And now they look like a unique ecology with some very cool features like the giant resource nodes. Huge fan. Alright, just a few more berries. I think, there it is, there's our berries. And as soon as we're out of the storm, I'm going to go ahead and turn in that quest. Yeah, it would give us 3 resolve, but it will also lower the queen's impatience, which increases the hostility of the forest. And that's just not going to do anything nice for me, so I'm not going to. Alright, so we're start of the year. 5 grain per minute. Love it. 5 grain per minute it is, because that lets me, well, eventually hopefully turn grain into flour or ale, but you know what, whatever. Let's turn this in, get our 2 people, get our bonus herb production, plus 30 herbs. We can make cosmetics out of herbs. I'm not gonna, but we can. And now we can go ahead and start pressing wine out of berries. And we can turn off consumption of mushrooms. I'm going to leave consumption of berries turned off so that we can make sure to press it all into wine. Ooh, rain mill or brewery? Rain mill, yeah. Let's get access to flour. Because now we're getting 5 grain a minute, right? So, and we're, yep, that's good. Yep, that's good. That's all fantastic. Beaver, 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 beaver. I should probably head toward another dangerous glade, and I think that means we're going down there. But we are also, of course, going to square this area. You know, I kind of wish I didn't do regular glades this game, that I just left it at the dangerous glades. I mean, on the one hand, it makes it a little, you know, freer in terms of what I'm going to cut down. But on the other hand, it does mean that I am losing hostility, or I'm gaining hostility for glades that don't give me any resources, or not as many resources at least. Obviously, we need the 3 beavers. And beavers like working in the rain mill, so we're going to go ahead and have them do that. We'll add a second. Oh, we've got a ton of tools. And a lot of spark dew, because I kept having them make spark dew. That's fine, because we can make that spark dew into crystallized dew with some of the termites, or the insects that we're getting from the insect mound. This person's set on making bricks and pottery, despite the fact that we don't have any clay. That's fine. We don't need to. Now, if we're getting 5 grain per minute, and it takes 34 seconds to turn 6 into flour, I think we're going to leave that alone. So I think all of this is good. I do want to put a human house by the farm. And some beaver housing by this smelter, because I can use the smelter to make biscuits. And we have a lot of herbs. So let's go ahead and put a beaver in there. And in fact, let's also make a beaver house there. Now we need another harpy and human house, so let's put a human house around the back of this. As well as a pair of harpy houses. Scavenger's camp has nothing to pick up, so let's move it up here where it can. Make a nice road that way. And this, meanwhile, is going to come down here and start working its way in to this dangerous glade. That looks good to me. Now, getting human resolve up to 28 is going to be a bit rough if I don't get more buildings that make them happy, but that's okay. And if we go for that glade and that glade, that solves this. Trader. Okay, hi. Pottery production is nice, but nothing else here is particularly excellent. I don't have anything I really want to sell. I could be getting some advanced food stuff, but I'd rather make that myself. I don't think we're going to buy anything. And you know what? Just remembered I've been commenting. I've got 34 tools. Let's deal with that. 30 ore. No, you know what? We're gonna go with this. Let's go ahead and get some amber and some more reputation. I'm sorry, chat. What? I don't understand what you're asking about berries. We are picking berries. And we are making berries into wine already. So, I mean, I could buy berries, but I'm already making some, and I don't really think I need more. Especially since I don't have anywhere to serve the wine that I'm making. Like, the only thing I can currently use is cosmetics. Yeah, we already turned in the 40 berries. Thank you, chat. Thank you for keeping me honest on my berries. So we got that, we got that. Did I see another cache? I sure did. It needs 19. How many tools do we have left? We have 20 left. We have 20 left. Okay. 15 parts. Yeah, let's get those parts. Plus, of course, this gives us grain, which we can press into flour, and flour directly. So that's going to be nice. And that's going to be letting us make biscuits, which everybody loves biscuits. So you know what? I'm actually going to put a bunch of beavers in here to make biscuits. The baking beavers. And you know what? We can put just a little bit of a fence here. We can spin this around. Start working on squaring up on that side. I just realized that the way my roads work, this section makes no sense. I mean, there's only one thing to do, obviously, which is to make a trading post here. Being able to move housing is kind of nice. Ah, he works in the mill. And we opened up another glade. Dang it. Dang it. I didn't mean to. Okay, well, whatever. It's open. Whoop whoop. Our leather workers aren't doing anything. You know, I could be packing it up into luxury goods, now that I'm thinking about it. I don't really want to, because I want to make my beavers happy at some point. But I could be, and that's important to know. Let's go ahead and kick out these beavers. That'll help. It doesn't help a lot, but it helps somewhat. And you we're actually just going to rush our way into this glade next year. We're going to get both these glades next year. Yeah. We going to make it? I think we're going to make it. Boom. Okay. Beaver. 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 5 clay per minute? 5 clay per minute it is. Yes. Okay. And I should be getting more people, right? Don't I get more people? Trapper's Camp has no deposits nearby. Well, we can't have that. Let's move it up here to start harvesting these eggs. That's right. We took the thing that makes the storm shorter, so it takes a little longer for me to get people. I'm thinking... Yeah, we'll do that. Now, normally at this point I'd be worried about unemployment, but I've got so... I'm opening up 2 glades in just a moment, so I'm not too worried about it. I could also, now that I've got a lot of spare beavers and a bunch of bonus parts, I am going to create a 3rd woodcutters camp, though. And we've had the beavers for long enough, so we can increase our pie production in the event we get pie, which we will get as soon as we make our humans happy enough. Okay, if they're at 14, I need to get them to 28. I can get up to 19 by favoring them, and then I would still need to get them up by 9. And I would need to keep them there for 60 seconds. That would be, what is that, 108 wood? Thank you for reminding me about housing, chat. Yes, yes we do. We can see that they are not homeless. Okay, now I'm actually going to move this a little bit. Because while I do want to open up those glades, I don't want to open them until I've made the humans happy for the full minute that they need. Because opening it up is going to raise the hostility level of the forest, and raising the hostility level of the forest is going to lower their happiness. Thanks, chat. No, I don't think that the housing are facing for maximum efficiency. Partially because I got houses that are just floating out in space. If I try to deal with that much micromanagement, I'll probably go mad. But, I mean, it is a concern. If you want to play the game optimally, you would go through and pay attention to where every house is and how close it is to their jobs. So, no, I'm sorry, chat. They are not facing the correct way for maximum efficiency. Okay, so what did I need to do? I need to lower... Yep, we lowered that. Are we... Yeah, we're out of fuel. Right on time. Let's go ahead and bring this right in here. Let's put more beavers on cutting wood. Right there. And right here. And we can make a brick oven, so we should probably do that. There's our 5 glades, which gives us 3 global resolve, 15 amber, and 35 pottery. Oh, hey, we are now at 7 hostility. That's a problem. We've got tons of that, though, so let's go ahead and... deal with the destroyed rain foundry immediately. And while working it, it's going to spawn a lot of blight rot cysts. That's okay. We're going to restore it because this lets us make infused tools, which are better than regular tools. And it's one of the 3 ruins we need to rebuild or salvage. Salvage. Enunciation is key. The smithy would let us make tools at 2. This already lets us make tools at 2. The smithy would let us make coats at 2. We do not currently have the ability to make coats. Both humans and beavers like coats. It would also let us make trade goods, which I don't care about. Otherwise, we can get the blueprint to build it wherever we want, and 10 luxury goods. Let's take the blueprint. So we've got that, which will get us another dangerous glade taken care of. Plus, I think all of the blight rot cysts that's going to spawn are going to give us more. So we're going to be able to lower the hostility at least, though maybe not before the storm hits and we lose a bunch of villagers. This is going to give us 1 ruin, 2 ruins rebuilt, so that gets us most of that. I'm actually going to go ahead and move this so that we don't open up another dangerous glade while I'm in the middle of dealing with one. That seems like a recipe for disaster. And I guess that means we're just going to have to give our woodcutters more to do. And of course now all of this beaver housing isn't in the right spot for the woodcutters, so there we go. And you know, I realize now that I've got 3 buildings I haven't selected, so I should probably do that. We're getting the smithy for free. We're going to get free jerky when we make pie. We can already make pottery and incense better than this, so we definitely don't want the smokehouse. We're getting the smithy for free, so we definitely don't want the smithy. That leaves the cooperage, which would let us make barrels, training gear, and cosmetics. We've already got cosmetics. Do I have a way of making training gear? No. Do I have a way of making barrels? No, but I've got a way of making pottery, and I've got a lot of pottery, so we don't really need barrels. Okay, so I don't think we want the cooperage, or the smithy, or the smokehouse, and that just leaves the grill for the skewers. The copper bars in the ale don't really do much for me. I don't have any way of delivering ale, and I've already got a smelter that makes copper bars more efficiently, but, I mean, skewers are a complex food. We've already got a better way to make pie, an equally good way to make pottery, and biscuits are just kind of meh, whatever. Got a better way to make flour. We do need packs of provisions. And I guess we don't have a way to make barrels. So I think this is going to be our best bet, except coats, pigment, and barrels. This gives us access to coats, which I don't think I currently have. I don't. Coats, pigments, and barrels it is. Let's go. And finally, tavern. Definitely tavern. If you can get the tavern, you get the tavern. It's just, the tavern is really, really good. +3 resolve, and then it also lets you turn ale and training weapons into more happiness. Absolutely. In fact, it's so good, I'm going to build it immediately. Okay, so I'm going to put a decoration here. I've got fences around the farmhouse. I don't really like barrels next to what's essentially a pie bakery and a tavern. I mean, barrels could make sense for the tavern, maybe. I don't have any lizards, so the lizard post, despite looking awesome, I don't want to use. So the chat asked when I'm picking buildings how often I take into account the quality level, and quite often. So what I'm looking at is first off, if I can get, how do I say this? So 3 stars is obviously the best, but generally 3-star buildings only give you one thing at 3 stars and 2 others at 1 star. So I find it's actually better to get a bunch of 2-star items than a bunch of 3-and-1s. That said, certain things get made so often, or the game encourages you to make certain things so often, that it makes sense to get the 3-star building. Like, for example, normally I wouldn't go for the brick oven, because the brick oven is 3 stars pie, but 1 star coal, which is not even efficient. Like, you actually lose fuel by doing this, and 1-star incense isn't great. It's good because these luxury goods are really important to get, especially once you get to the middle or end of a town. So it's worth getting for even a 1-star luxury good. But generally, I wouldn't bother with the brick oven because its main resource is pie, and I can usually get like a bakery to make pie and also make biscuits at 2 stars. But in this case, a 3-star pie is a really good option because I early on took Sahilda's Secret Cookbook, and I actually took it twice. So whenever I make pie, I make 10 jerky in addition to 10 pie. So that makes it highly efficient, and being able to get the shorter creation time and the more efficient use of resources means I'm not only getting the pie more often, I'm also getting the jerky more often. So when I've got a force multiplier like that, the 3rd star helps a lot. Does that answer your question, chat? 2 stars across 3 resources generally better, but 3 stars for one thing you really need or that you've got a lot of bonuses piled on makes it worthwhile. Of course, I kind of cheated with the answer because I got the brick oven for free out of an order. Oh, we've got spawning blight rot cysts. Better clean them up. And a trader. Hey, trader. Ooh. Fast construction is cool. I've got 50 amber? Right, because I've been turning in caches. That's right. Okay. So first off, let's get bonus crystallized dew production. Because that leads to tools. That's going to lead to barrels. That's going to be important. Heck yeah. Now, I'm not going to be mining on the Royal Woodlands. There's like no resources to mine. I don't really need any building materials. I don't need amber like this. I don't need anything else here. So we're just going to get all these bonuses and pop that out. Okay. Everybody's employed. Everyone's housed. Food is going down because we got some blight rot cysts we're dealing with. Like, I guess we don't have a ton of crystallized dew, but we have a decent amount. And I think in the next year, we are going to need to work on the Beaver's Resolve so we can get that hammered out. Oh, crap. I went to one speed. No. Now, normally I would immediately throw people in the tavern. And the reason I'm not is because the foundry is spawning blight rot cysts while it's being worked. And I need to keep workers available for that. That said, this is out of trees, so let's move it closer. But also, it is imperative that we get out of Hostility 7. Because remember, Hostility 7 is going to kill villagers every year, and an escalating number of villagers as the number of years go on, and we're at year 9. So it's already going to be getting a bad multiplier. We're not dealing with that. And actually, I'm just going to fire all of my woodcutters now. Well, not all of them. We'll leave one. One woodcutter seems like enough, right? No, it doesn't. I'm going to get rid of one of my carpenters. Or, I don't have to get rid of my carpenters. I just stop them making planks. Duh. Okay. Now we got 17. New threat discovered, Blight Rot Cyst. Let's go deal with that. And let's toss... We'll clean this up later. Actually, why am I cleaning up later? I can clean it up now. Not quite. I'm still not going to be able to put my human in there. That's okay. Let's pop some harpies up here. Start working on that. Now, what I don't know is if these Blight Rots count as part of this dangerous glade, or if they're their own thing. And if they're their own thing, then we're going to get a lot of lowered hostility just from working this. Okay. Jeez, are you serious? Okay, that was the first one. Now we're at 1 out of 2. So... Oh, hey, 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 hey. Do you see that? So, each of these spawned Blight Rot cysts that we got from working the Terrain Product Foundry is counting toward calming the forest, which means that we got 100 lower hostility just from this plus the first cyst, and then the next two are going to lower the hostility again by another 100. Phenomenal. Just great. It's so great. Now this herbalist camp can't reach anything, so let's move it closer to these berries up here. We've got a spare human, so let's swap that. Okay, Harpy for every 25 eggs produced. Each solved glade event lowered hostility by another 10. Or bonus mushrooms. Let's take bonus mushrooms. I don't think I need to worry about lowering hostility when I've got calming the forest, because that's going to give us a lot of leeway. Let's put our beaver back on wood cutting. And let's grab another beaver. And this time we are going to favor the beavers. Let's go ahead and put some harpies in here. And I always like to set my coat production to a maximum of double the number of people who can wear coats. So we got 15 plus 21, that's 36. So we're going to set 70. It's roughly double. Close enough, right? Let's have the... Do I have anything that makes pigment right now? Okay, they're the only ones who can make pigment. Great. And they can make barrels, which I'm fine with. No, I don't think I need barrels. I don't think I need barrels. I've got so much pottery. And I'm getting 5 clay per minute, which is mostly going into pottery. You know, I could put another human in here. Yeah, we've got a lot of clay. Okay, so we're setting that to 70. We're starting to make pigment. That's great. Making pigment means we can make scrolls. Do I have anywhere that uses education? No, the bathhouse is just cosmetics. The tavern is leisure and bloodthirst. Okay. Okay. What do I have that makes ale? Just the grill. Okay. Let's go ahead and actually tell them to... We've got a lot of grain. Okay. We're going to tell you to make leather out of reeds. And we're going to tell you to make fabric out of leather. We're also going to tell you to make scrolls out of leather. What do I have that let me make packs of provisions? Just the makeshift post. Okay. I don't think I ever made a grill. Okay. So I'm having trouble deciding. Chat, I cannot pick. What decoration should I put in this square here? Right here. Right here. We're going to put one of these decorations. I'm just going to go ahead and leave it on the screen until somebody in my chat tells me which decoration to throw in there. Remember, it's going to be surrounded by a grill, a basically a brick oven to make pie, and a tavern. Coral growth? I heard coral growth. We're making a coral growth. Now, yes, I do need housing. 100% need housing. So we'll toss some human housing around here. And you know, I like the lizard posts, so we're going to go ahead and put one there. And there. And we still need a beaver house and a harpy house. So let's put some harpy housing over here. And then we need a beaver house somewhere. And I think a beaver house should go right by this. Now, part of what we're going to do is we are going to turn off making regular tools here. No, no, no. We do not want regular tools. What we want is for the people working these blight rod cysts to become available, because I'm actually going to take one of these lumber camps, the woodcutter camps, and take it off of beavers. In fact, I'm just going to take it off of beavers immediately. And we're going to put harpies in there. You're like, why would you do that? Well, because we've got a Rainpunk Foundry now. And the Rainpunk Foundry lets me make parts, which I don't need. But more importantly, it lets us make infused tools with Spark 2. And beavers love working in here because it's an engineering building. Meanwhile, we've got 19 tools sitting around. Just sitting around doing nothing. Not that it matters, because we have opened up another glade. Okay. Hey, we can use cosmetics. We can use cosmetics to do the Forgotten Temple of the Sun. I mean, I've got a... Yeah. And I need the crystallized dew, I think, for the infused tools I'm going to try to spam. Plus, that gives us bricks. And I should toss another guy in here making planks. I like these lizard pillars. I think they look cool. They make me think of Klingons, because that's the kind of nerd I am. And oh my god, I built this brick oven a while ago to take advantage of my pie. And I never started making pie. Start making pie. Are you kidding me? Oh, all of that's going... Jeez, no, 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 no. Get out of there. Stop making biscuits. Stop it, stop it, stop it. Okay, woodcutter's camp has no trees nearby. This woodcutter's camp. Okay. Well, we can easily solve that. Do I have a stonecutter's camp I abandoned? I do, yeah. Okay, and we're going to put some humans down here picking up that clay. Trader has arrived. Trapper's camp has nothing nearby. Okay. Nothing we can do with it up here. Nothing we can do with it over here. So we are going to go ahead and just move this into the abandonment corner. Check, check, check. Okay. Yes. Yes, yes. And we've got a lot of parts. All right, now let's go ahead and talk to Sahilda. Oh, she wants to give us a farm. Yes, 100%. And also bonus wheat production. Yeah, let's take it. I don't need either of those. I don't think I need anything else that she's got, but I really would love some stone. So let's go ahead and get a pile of stone. Oh, wow. I forgot how much ancient tablets sell for. It is a lot. Okay. So if we don't need stone, I mean, I could use planks. I'm not producing planks very quickly. And maybe some more herbs? That's too many herbs. We don't need that many herbs. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Nope, too far. There we go. Trade. All right. Cool. You're not doing anything. Why aren't you doing anything? Because you have already made all of the fabric I want you to make. So we're going to actually kick you out. This house is too far from... Oh, that's because it's the housing for the herbalists. There are some annoyances with this housing update that I don't love. I mean, I like the idea of people going back to their houses to rest. But with camps especially, it's annoying because... like camps can get real far from your housing centers. Now that said, these are both my herbalists, so let's go ahead and just move the herbalist house next to the herbalist camp. I don't actually need this building for anything. Okay, these people work in the bathhouse, which is right here, and the stonecutter's camp, which is way over here. So I'm going to move this and make this the stonecutter's camp house. Okay. You're for the brick oven. And you're for the bathhouse and the tavern. Are you? Okay. Okay, all the housing here is at least kind of reasonably close. You are for a woodcutter's camp, but I don't know which woodcutter's camp. Lear Seabrook? It'd be great to be able to tell which woodcutter's camp he works for. I mean, given how far he is and there's a woodcutter's camp there, it's gotta be these. So let's go ahead and move this here. We want a road right there. And we want a storage building directly across from it. There we go. And then down here, this is being worked. Oh, this is done being worked. Nice. Okay. I think I want to salvage this. Not that I really need this stuff, but I might as well. because that'll get us our third ruin. What do I have for packs of provisions? Still just the makeshift post, right? Okay. We want to make a farm, which we will deal with later. I think that's quite enough to be going on with right now. Let's go ahead and make a makeshift post right here. You have made all the planks that I need you to make. Okay, get out. And let's actually lower the hostility of the forest to make people a little bit happier. And I never actually got my beavers. Whatever. 14 oil per minute for 5 bonus makes everyone positive, which will last us most of the storm. And given that we've got the bathhouse, they won't leave by the time that part finishes. We'll earmark some more trees for cutting. And they stayed happy all through the storm. And if we favor them, that's 24. Let's go ahead and put beavers back here. And, you know, let's see what we got. We got, for 10 regular tools, we can send this to the Citadel for half a point. I'm not going to do that. Did I abandon a stone cutting? I did, but it's down here now. Okay, right. We need to make this into a bunch of farm fields, and we need to move this down here, and we need to put a small farm like so. Meanwhile, I don't... right, you're here because the lumber cutters are here. And of course, having a farm like that does mean that I should get some storage down here as well. And let's do that. Okay. Let's make a lot more flour. We're favoring you. You're at 23. We need to get you up to 28. If I could burn 2 wood, that would be real nice. I'm just going to put some overflow housing in, where I don't really know where these people are going to go. Yeah, getting the last resolve for the beavers, I can do from, like, burning, but I don't have enough wood to burn. I could do from, like, serving wine, but I don't have a building that lets me serve wine. So, yeah, it's a bit of a conundrum. I'm not quite sure what I want to do there. Ooh, machinery, upgrade parts. So that just goes straight into the pool of things I can use to upgrade my resources with the smoldering city. Herbalist camp is all mined out. Okay. It's a resource node. I can call it mining if I want to. I don't have anywhere to do anything with that, so let's take them out of there. And let's just drop this house back there until we figure out what we're doing with them. Scavenger's camp has no deposits nearby. Well, no, it definitely does. There is a ton of plant material over here. Woodcutter's camp has no trees nearby. What? There are trees everywhere. Okay, and I believe we want to take a couple of humans and have them make packs of provisions out of meat. Let's have them make it out of meat. Don't use herbs. We're currently using herbs to make pie. How much flour do I have? 0. Yeah. Okay. I was checking to see if I could put some people back on biscuits. Because biscuits would also increase Beaver's happiness. How many provisions? 15 provisions. And then it's just a question of Beaver resolve. We have 5 regular tools. We have 91 flour. Yeah. Or not flour, we've got 91 grain. Okay, you know what? We can make skewers out of jerky and... No, don't make them out of jerky. Make them out of meat. And I think eggs? We're not going to make copper bars. We could make ale. Yeah, we can make ale. Okay, so meat and heat. So this is just a place where lizards like to work, but we don't have any lizards, so I guess harpies will do the trick. We're going to turn off packs of provisions. We're going to dump these guys out. Turn in the quest. And now we have 17 regular tools. Let's tell this that we want 19 regular tools. And they're like, why? Well, because 19 is going to be enough to open one of these 2 caches. And you're like, why aren't you using all of your infused tools? I don't think I'll be able to get it, but there is a... What just happened? Oh. Okay, so here's what just happened. I wasn't looking at my Grim Fate. I didn't notice that I was at 7. So we lost 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go ahead and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 people. Basically, we lost 1 per year. And that lowered the hostility of the forest. But now I have a lot of jobs being done that don't need to be done anymore. Crap. Well, the good news is we have solved our beaver happiness problem. We've completely solved it because with this many villagers dead, the the hostility of the forest dropped a ton. Okay. Okay. These don't need to be beavers. Brick oven, I want fully staffed. Even though I think only humans eat pie. Only humans eat pie. Whatever. Tavern needs to be fully staffed. Herb garden needs to be fully staffed. Farm, stonecutter's camp. Okay. That all looks good. Bathhouse is fully staffed. That's exactly what I want. For housing, Yep, okay. I'm going to put 1 harpy in here. We'll put 1 beaver in here. Let's build a beaver house right here. Why not? That's actually not that bad. I mean, the problem, of course, is that we've got Queen's Impatient at 11.59, uh, and it's going to go up by 32 to get us to, what is that, 60, 92 by the end of the storm. But, I mean, aside from that, I think we might actually be able to salvage this. It's going to be rough, but I think we'll be able to. So let's go ahead and grab this. Or in the words of Nick Fury, I'm going to get the quote wrong, where it's like, the world may be ending, but until it does that, we're going to act as though it'll continue to spin on. I just mangled the quote. Sorry, chat. I know at least one of you likes Marvel, and I just completely bonked that. But whatever. Let's go. I got some spare people. Let's put some humans back on gathering this. I have a human working in the brickyard, right? Oh, I got two. Yeah. Okay. The problem is that it's going to be real close, but we are so close to getting this reputation point. And then this reputation point plus holding the beavers at 28 for how long? 1 minute. Will get us another point. We're going to be fine. It's going to be close. It's going to be ugly, and I almost lost me the game, but we're going to be fine. And that is one of the reasons I love this game, is that if you can survive a mistake, and as long as you think through what options you have, there's usually a way out of any pit you knock yourself into. Okay. So look, that gets them to 27 right there. And that's even with them going up a hostility level from me putting those guys back on woodcutting. So if we pop that up, that's going to go to 30. Now we only have 0.14 to work with, but we're getting 0.37 a minute. We're getting 0.8 per minute. We're getting 1.22 per minute. So there we go. We scooped that out, right? And you know what? I'm going to do a new thing, because I've been getting sick of the way my thumbnails look. So where's a pretty section of town? This a pretty section of town? This a pretty section of town? I'm liking this. And you're like, why are we asking? Well, because what I'm about to do is use a feature that I don't get to use very often. I believe it's options. There we go. There is a screenshot mode where I can get just the village itself. All right, but enough about that. Let's go ahead and go back to the game. Oh, also I should turn off screenshot mode. So we are about to, finish, because boop, boop. So we can turn it in. Now, one thing I'm a little sad about is there is an achievement that you can get for having, like, a ridiculous number of infused tools in your inventory. Obviously, I don't have that, and I'm not going to be able to make more than... Okay. So that would be like 12 minutes if I let this go. And in 12 minutes, we can make what? Like another 50? And I don't think that that's enough for the achievement. I'll show you what I mean when we get back out to the main menu in just a second. We're at 11:02. You know what? I really like winning on happiness. So I'm just going to let it ride on happiness and not bother turning in this quest unless... 30 biscuit? No, I mean, why? Okay. Okay, let's do this. We've got 396 clay. That is, you know what? We'll get all the complex food that we can. We'll get jerky. We'll get more meat. We'll get more berries. We'll get flour. Let's just sell all the clay and all the simple tools and all the pigment and all the resin. Okay. So now we bought all the complex food, which means that our people are going to just, like, we'll get the bonuses from these happiness bars here too. Well, maybe not in beavers because I didn't buy biscuits. I did buy pickled goods, so pickled goods will go up. We didn't buy biscuits, but we already have jerky and we got skewers, and they're going to have pie and jerky. Which also means that we're getting this, what is it, multiplying resolve bonus. And I also gave enough amber to get half a point, so real nice. If I pick up, I don't know. Let's reroll. Sure, let's get a guild house. Why not? It's not going to finish. And we are out of here. All right. So we hit level 10. So we have Tinctuary. Tinctuary? I don't know how to pronounce that. I'm sure I'm getting it wrong. Furnace. Butcher. And then, of course, the cornerstones of moldy grain seeds that gives you mushrooms for grain. And the ability to get meat and grain for dangerous glade events being solved. And, of course, bonus 1 global resolve for every 2 caches that you open, which is great when you have tools. Got a ton of food, got a little bit of machinery. Remember, we got this machinery because we found it in a cache that we opened. That's nice. Now, our score is terrible. I like getting 1400s, and that is so bad because, well, we won, and we got our reputation, but the queen has no impatience left. The word tinctury. Tinctury. I can't show it. Chat. Sorry, the chat's asking me what word I'm having trouble pronouncing. But I can't show tinctury again because the pop-up went away. We've got 8 orders completed. We got some regular events solved. We got dangerous events solved. We got even one forbidden events out, and we had ended with 40 villagers. If we hadn't lost our 12 people, we might have been able to get city, which is ending with 60 villagers. But, you know, whatever. Terrible score, but hey, we made it. This is Vinehaven. You'll notice that the Vanguard of the Stolen Keys and the Brass Order did not build cities. They were going to build them here and here, but because I took here and I claimed this territory, they can't. And it's just a good way of putting myself in the lead so I can win out. Now, I could do it again and block these, but at this point, I've got a commanding lead, and I feel like I'd rather push out and see what's behind that question mark. Or, I mean, I could go here and start pushing that way too, and further keep the Brass Order out of the running. But that's an issue for next time. Let's go into the Citadel. Turn in that. 2 more glades, and we could have gotten another cornerstone option. Okay. Now, I am going to go ahead and take this one. Production speed is nice. Being able to start with some actual building materials and not just raw supplies is nice. And then we have enough food left that I can either get -2 speed for impatience growth, gives us a little more time, and makes it a little easier to maintain the queen's patience, or 1% chance for bonus production yields and 10% bonus speed. I'm going to take the time. I mean, of course, we're going to get this next time. We only need 27 food. And now that we are level 10, we unlocked this row of potential upgrades, and we're starting to get up there. I mean, there's still a long way to go to the top, but we're getting closer. So that is it for this episode of Against the Impossible Storm, where I play against the storm on Impossible. Again, if you are watching this on Twitch, you are welcome to check out the videos of this. It's just exactly the gameplay you just saw over on YouTube. So if you ever miss a day, you can go to the YouTube channel, which is also just YouTube Dread Canary. And if you're watching this on YouTube, just a reminder, I stream these live Friday nights at 9:30 Eastern and Sunday afternoons at 4. And I do 2 cities in a row. Of course, that splits it up into 1 video per city. Anyway, thank you for watching this, as I almost killed enough villagers to lose me the game. And have yourselves a great night.